Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature-Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature-Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature-Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Point!
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace!
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
John Legend here. How do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Ask your healthcare provider and book at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Flo here from Progressive to tell you how you get more than great savings with us. You get customer service access through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
That's a lot of ways I can get in touch with you. I see what's going on here. You can't name favorites, but I'm your #1 customer.
Actually, we offer all our customers these ways to contact us.
I'm sure you give just any customer your personal
company
contact info.
Well, you did call us more than any other customer this year. So in that sense, you are our #1 customer.
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
If you're a single man under the age of 35, you'd probably like to know what the ladies are looking for on an online dating site. A guy who had a few drinks and later got pulled over for buzzed driving. See, that could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And doesn't a guy who's back living with his parents but calls them my roommates just scream Mr. Right?
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Tiger weather now. Mix of clouds, risk of a shower or storm here this afternoon. We'll see highs today at 86, 72 our low tonight with a few clouds. Clouds start off the day Tuesday, but sunshine in the afternoon, 87. Sunny skies at midweek with Wednesday's high 93. Richard DeWetting and the Weather Channel.
KWKH and K277DO Shreveport, 103.3 FM and 1130 The Tiger. Bossier City's home for LSU Sports, a Town Square Media station. The following program is paid for by Tim Fletcher. Good afternoon. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
Voice of the Demons, right?
Yes.
Touchdown, Demons!
Brined, marinated, or dry rubbed, it's sports the way you like it.
Sports Center Top 10 right there!
Talking to the biggest names, bringing you the best interviews.
He actually smokes his beans.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
The cooler is full, and the brisket is resting.
Just a nice little pull, and it comes right apart. That's perfect.
We eat ribs with this dude.
Here's your master of ceremonies, the Kansas City Barbecue Society certified expert.
Throw the fade, looking for Ferguson. Got it!
Patrick Netherton.
13-yard touchdown. Demons are back in it. Hello?
Rogers, I turned my microphone off. I turned my microphone on, and then I turned it off because I'm not real bright for some reason. Yeah. I don't know what that was about, but I turned my microphone from on to off, and now my microphone's not working. Okie dokie. Let's see what's going on here. There we go. Is that now the correct setting? No. Let's see. All right, there we go. Now we should have it. Okay. For some reason, my audio just switched. Rogers, you got me now? We okay now? I feel like I'm moving through okay. You got me? All right. I feel like we're okay now. That was weird. Like, for some reason, the microphone just decided to switch to something completely different.
Hello?
That was very strange. But we okay now, Hambone?
Hello?
I don't know. Is that good or bad? I don't know if Coach O's saying hello is good or bad.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
all right. That I got. I wasn't sure if what was good or bad. I don't know. That was so weird.
All right.
That was so weird. My so I turned my microphone. Look, Rogers, I'm basically the Dallas Cowboys defense right now, is what it amounts to. I have no idea what's going on. I got guys running left, right. I can't stop anybody. It is definitely the Dallas Cowboys defense going on right now.
I don't care who you are. That's funny right there now.
I mean, oh, brother. Yeah, we'll hear from Hambone in a bit. I've got to imagine it was nearly a perfect weekend for Hambone. I don't know what could have possibly not been perfect, but we will talk to Hambone coming up in just a bit. So we got all that happening. We are up and running on our. There you go. Yeah, there's a lot of hey boy going on this past weekend. It was a big one for our boy. Apparently, Andy Dalton is now going to be the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. That, at least for now, Bryce Young
Breaking news.
At least for now, Bryce Young is on the outs. And Andy Dalton is in. The Red Rifle. Everyone's favorite backup QB is apparently going to be the guy now. So I guess lock in for Andy Dalton time in Carolina after they've been whipped and Bryce Young has not looked good. So boy, I mean I kind of feel for Bryce Young a little bit in that, you know, the same draft class is one of the best young quarterbacks we've ever seen in C.J. Stroud, and now continuing that, and you know, looked pretty sharp again last night as the Texans got the victory. So I feel I don't want to say I feel bad for him, but I do feel somewhat bad that for Bryce Young, right? I mean, that's a lot of high expectations coming with the number one draft pick, and you add to that the fact that the guy that got drafted right behind you has been one of the best young quarterbacks we've seen. I mean, honestly, since Andrew Luck probably. So we got that. It was it was something to behold yesterday. That is for sure. You've got a Saints team that was coming off of a 47-point performance against Carolina. A lot of that was more bad Carolina and less about good Saints. And then, the Dallas game would show Dallas's defense, all of that. it showed me that the Saints definitely seem for real. Look, you're not going to put up 40 points a game. The NFL's going to figure you out, and you will have your struggles. The Saints aren't going undefeated, much like Dallas isn't going undefeated, and that was their message in the locker room after the game. But excuse me, but the Saints looked incredible. Clint Kubiak's offense is obviously exactly what Derek Carr needed. They've got weapons galore all over the field. They've got a signal caller that's got the big arm that clearly is processing the offense very well. He's doing tremendous things. Alvin Kamara is Christian McCaffrey. He just was Christian McCaffrey before Christian McCaffrey was. So hopefully he's Christian McCaffrey without the injuries this year. It looks like McCaffrey may be out for 6 weeks, so could be a bit. But yeah, it was a bloodletting in Dallas yesterday, and just, I mean, we're going to talk to Hambone here in just a bit, but I can only imagine Hambone just floating around the Hampton Manor, and just how excited he was. Then the Texans get the win last night. You couple that with I think the Astros swept, I think, this weekend. And I don't know. I don't know how Hambone has much of a better weekend than the one he had, at least sports-wise, obviously. It was remarkable. But we're going to break all of that down. Plus, we've got LSU finding a way to get a win on the road against South Carolina. They got outplayed for a lot of that game and just kept hanging in. And I'm looking at Facebook. First quarter, Saints fans are jumping off the cliff. It's over. Brian Kelly sucks. Got to fire him. And all I'm thinking is, man, it's the first quarter. Like, calm down. Much the same way when when the Saints were blowing out the Cowboys yesterday. I even put on Facebook, look, it's all fine and dandy that this is happening right now, but just calm it down a little bit. Right? You're not, it's not the end of the game. Turns out it was the end of the game. We just didn't know it at the time. Didn't know that the Saints were going to just continue to put on that clinic. Interestingly enough, the Zimmer defenses have had the most trouble with the Shanahan tree group, right? The group that runs all the motions and the shifts and the play actions and funky formations and personnel groupings. And, you saw Taysom Hill lined up in the backfield. You saw Rashid Shaheed line up in the backfield. You saw Kamara line up, Jamal Williams. Like 4 different guys were lined up at running back at different times. You had a fullback in there sometimes. You had a tight end, multiple tight ends with Taysom Hill and Jawan Johnson. It was just so much. And the other thing, and I actually didn't know this, Clint Kubiak was Mike Zimmer's either OC or quarterbacks coach when he was with the Vikings. So if anyone knows what Zimmer does defensively, it's Clint Kubiak. He was there on the opposite sideline for a couple of years. So it makes some sense that Kubiak would be able to have that kind of success against what Mike Zimmer does. He knows it inside and out. He knows what the weaknesses are, and obviously he exploited them. A lot of outside runs, a lot of sweeps and pitches and things to get to the corner. Everything seemed to be off tackle. There was very little run game in the middle, and it certainly worked. They negated Micah Parsons. He was either being blocked by a tackle, and chipped by a back or a tight end. At one point, they had a tight end cut him, and then when he got back up, they had a running back, or it might have been vice versa. The tight end may have just blocked him straight up. I think it was that. Yeah, I think the tight end blocked him straight up, And then he's going to beat a tight end. Like, that's just going to happen. So as soon as he beat the tight end, a running back is waiting for him. And as soon as he disengaged with the tight end, the running back cuts him. Obviously, you can't do that when you're engaged. That's an illegal chop block. But the running back waited until Parsons had gotten past the tight end, had dislodged from the tight end, and he came around and cut him. And it was, I mean, you talk about amazing strategy. The Saints had it, man. The Saints definitely had the Cowboys' number yesterday. And as you might imagine, all the talk on the national shows has been about how great the Saints are. I mean, wait, what? It's all been about how bad the Cowboys were. And you knew it was going to be that way. You knew it was going to be all Cowboys talk. What's wrong with the Cowboys? What happened? Are they not Super Bowl contenders, NFC title game contenders, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You knew that was going to be the talk, and that absolutely was the talk. So, we've got a lot of stuff to get into, man. Just Saints, Cowboys, and LSU, South Carolina alone would fill up 2 hours. We've got other things. Grambling got a nice win over the weekend. Louisiana Tech came close to getting a nice win, couldn't quite finish it off. You had the Texans picking up a victory. You had the Ravens moving to 0-2. A lot of NFL. We've got to give out our Pearl Upset special from this past weekend, and we have to tell you where the picks are. Patrick's Picks and Moody's Moneymakers after 2 straight 1 game under 500 weekends for me. Could I rally with a winning weekend? Could Moody? Moody's been very sharp in the early going. Would that continue? Especially his NFL picks have been fabulous. Would that continue? So yeah, we got a lot to get into, man. So we want to hear from you. A couple of ways that you can do that, and I'd love. Look, this is a safe space for you Cowboys fans. Rodgers. Look, I grew up a Saints fan. After they won the Super Bowl, my fandom kind of waned a good bit. It was kind of like, okay, you did the thing that you needed to do. You did the thing that no one thought you could do. You won the Super Bowl, so like that's kind of it, right? You're kind of done at this point. I would love to hear from a Cowboys fan about that game yesterday. Are you concerned that this is, now every team's going to try to follow the Kubiak blueprint and try to find a way to run that style of offense to defeat Dallas? Is this hey, maybe the Saints are a lot better than people anticipated? I'd love to hear from Cowboys fans on where you stand. Again, it's 2 games in, right? The Cowboys could still go 15-2. Saints could lose every game from here and go 2-15. Are those the likeliest things to happen? Absolutely not. And I'm as guilty as the next guy of saying I didn't know what to expect with Derek Carr this year. That, he's got all the talent in the world. Talent has never been an issue for Derek Carr. The issue for Derek Carr has been he's had 55 offensive coordinators in his time in the league, right? He's had so many different guys. And it feels like maybe this is the one, right? Clint Kubiak feels like he's the guy that is the one that's going to kind of lead Derek Carr and the Saints offense to the promised land. They've got so many weapons offensively, although Taysom Hill went to a hospital yesterday after the game. Had some kind of a chest issue going on. They say he's fine. He said he's fine. He flew back on the charter with the team, but they apparently sent him to the hospital to get more imaging and whatnot. We'll kind of keep an eye on Taysom Hill. They've been using him. They used him at quarterback. They used him at running back. They used him at fullback. They used him at tight end. They split him out wide at one. I mean, he's everywhere. Like, he's the ultimate Swiss Army knife. So, Cowboys fans, I'd love to hear from you. Saints fans, obviously, I'd love to hear from you. The Houdat Nation is going absolutely bonkers right now with the start for the Saints. By the way, the last time a team had this many points through the first 2 games was the 2009 New Orleans Saints. What is significant about the 2009 New Orleans Saints? They won the Super Bowl. So, yeah, a lot of reason for optimism right now. And the crazy thing is, all the points they're putting up is sort of overshadowing what has been 2 really good defensive performances. They gave up some yards, and Dallas moved the ball a bit, but when it counted, they were holding the Cowboys to field goals. They were not giving up touchdowns. And with that offense, you hold a team to field goals, you win. Look, what did we say going in, right? We said that if the Saints could score mid to high 20s, I think we said like 25 to 28, something like that. If you could score in that area, average around 25 points a game, something in that area, that you would win a lot more than you lost. And here's the thing. Had they scored 25 points in their first 2 games, they'd still be 2-0. Because the defense because the defense has played that well. If you had, we'd still be talking about how good the offense is and how it's improved, but nothing was preparing us for 47 and 44 in the first 2 weeks. So we'll get into all of that. Love to hear from Cowboys fans. Love to hear from Saints fans. I want to know where your heads are at after 2 weeks. And again, this is so early in the season. So many things can happen. So we will we'll parse all of this out. And again, this is a safe space for you Cowboys fans. If you want to jump in and chat, this is definitely a safe space for you guys. All right, it is the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130, the Tiger 103.3 FM. He's Rogers, I'm Patrick. Couple of ways to get in touch with the show. You can call us on the Pearl Shreveport hotline. The Pearl Shreveport hotline is 318-RALLY-45, 318-725-5945.
Hello.
Hey, Coach O. You can also reach us on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line. The Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line is 318-6570-HAM, 318-657-0426, also known as the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line. Also, Rogers, we should mention, new old sponsor is back in the mix for the next month. That would be our good friends Matt Hollis and Hollis Dental Care. That's right. Our buddy Matt Hollis and his crew at Hollis Dental Care are back in the mix. Absolutely spectacular to have them back. They are the best dental crew in the area up there in North Bossier. If you're just looking for, routine maintenance, cleaning, or if you need something a little more serious than that, they can do it all. They're a one-stop shop. Dental implants, just routine cleaning and maintenance. They're actually expanding. They're going to add another hygienist to get in there, and I'm not sure if they've actually done it yet, but that was in the works. So they've got a lot of stuff happening over at Hollis Dental Care. The other cool thing is, if you call them by 9 a.m., you get to be seen the same day. You had an emergency overnight, tooth cracked, massive pain, whatever the case may be, all you have to do is give them a holler at 703-6680, 703-6680. Call them before 9 a.m., and they will get you in the same day. Not open on Friday or the weekends. They do have an emergency number, but if you call them before 9 a.m., you can be seen the same day. They're open Monday 9 to 6, so open a little later on Mondays to allow for folks that maybe had some issue over the weekend to jump in. They're open 8 to 5 Tuesday, Wednesday, and 8 to 3 on Thursday, not open on Friday. But give them a holler before 9 a.m., and they will take care of you. Hollis Dental Care, the premier one-stop shop for all your dental care needs in the Arklatex, Benton Road, and Wimple up in North Bossier. Give them a call at 703-6680. That's 703-6680. So we're proud to welcome Hollis Dental Care back into the fold. So if you're watching, yeah, exactly. Give them a round of applause, a second round of applause for Hollis Dental Care. So if you need a good dentist, then we recommend Matt Hollis. We got a chance to go hang out with him for lunch a little while back, and he's a stand-up dude. A lot of good stuff going on at Hollis Dental Care. And if you are watching us over on YouTube, Facebook, or the Twitter app, then you can see that we've got Hollis Dental Care up on the screen now. Bobby L. Greene Plumbing at the top, Pearl in the middle, Hollis Dental Care right there as well. So you can, if you want to see the logo, there it is. Speaking of our streaming services, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Netherton Show. You can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/@Netherton Show, or on Twitter/X. And we are available there at PT Netherton, at PT Netherton. And if you want to go congratulate Rogers on a great weekend, you can find him on Twitter at HeyBoyRogers, at HeyBoyRogers. And as always, if you do go and watch on any of our streaming platforms, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter X, please give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe. Whatever the case may be, make sure that you are being warned and told when we go live. Although I can pretty much tell you it's 1 to 3 every weekday. That's kind of when it happens. All right, we're also available on the app if you want to tune in audio-wise, 1130 The Tiger. Search for that on Google Play, your iTunes App Store, and you can listen to us in crystal clear HD audio. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, the man who had the best weekend in the business, Rogers Hampton Jr.
We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, and in the name of the Lollipop Guild, we wish to welcome you to Munchkinland.
Hey, boy! Hey, boy.
Hi, man.
Hello.
Hambone.
Yeah.
Did anybody have it better than you this weekend, my friend?
Nobody.
I mean, wow.
So, Dan Patrick, stick that in your grill and cook it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, put that in your Traeger grill and
your Traeger grill on your Meat Friday, feeding all your people.
I mean,
stuffing your faces live on the air, being rude to your listeners.
Hambone.
Nobody.
I mean, my God, Rogers. Other than like Kiss announcing a reunion show with the original members, but
with
doing
Paul,
it,
Gene, Ace, and Peter.
But doing it in Rogers' like backyard.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
I don't know how it could have gotten better for you, Rogers.
Or let me introduce them at the press conference.
Yeah, or get on stage. You wanted the best, you got the best. Let Rogers
Let me utter
do that.
those famous words. You wanted the best, you got the best.
Exactly.
The hottest band in the world. Kiss! Curtain drops and Detroit Rock City starts, and you see the best damn rock show you're ever going to see.
I mean, Hambone, are you just floating through the day
Well,
today?
I will tell you this.
Okay.
Saturday wore me out. The LSU game wore me out because I started from kickoff till the end, and I was just that first quarter seemed like it took 3 hours.
Yeah. And it was not good either. It was 17 to nothing,
between
whatever.
the penalties and the sloppy play
Yeah.
and oh my God, I was like, you know what? Some days you eat the bear, some days the bear eats you. You're on the road. It's the pretty good South Carolina team. Game day's there. The crowd is fired up. Some days it's just not your day. But for as bad as they played, to just keep hanging in, because you can practice on your mistakes. You can practice on turnovers. You can practice, but you can't practice quit. And this team didn't quit. When there were numerous times, Patrick, I thought, you know what? I'd be okay if they quit right now because this is too hard. Everything's against them. Yeah. But you can't teach quit. Now you got something to build on. Go to practice. You can clean up those damn penalties. You can clean up mistakes. You can clean up the sloppy play. But if you quit as a team, that's hard to recoach that, my friend.
It's like we always say, right? It's always better to coach off a win. Like
Absolutely.
It's, you screwed everything up and you were down 17 to nothing and everything was going against you. You played sloppy. You didn't look great. and then you found a way in the end to win the game, okay, then practice corrections are a lot better when you win than when you lose. And it appears
a lot easier to take instruction from your coach when you did win and you're still getting chewed out.
And it looks like they found a running back, which we've kind of been waiting on.
And it's my kind of running back.
It's a ham bone style running back.
Power and speed, because it's deceptive.
Yeah.
You see a little bitty dude, oh, man, I get my hands on him, he's going down. That's not what happens with a short, stocky, athletic running back. They found their number one, and now just maybe if they can develop a rotation so they don't just beat that little guy to death, you're going to, like you said, there's a lot of teaching tools to build off on, and it's a lot easier to listen as a player when you did win a game you probably should have lost.
The other aspect of that is, Rogers, it is the history of the Saints and true freshman running backs. Right? Think about the number of times the Saints have gone to a true freshman running back, and they've just been the best thing you've ever seen.
And normally that wouldn't be the case.
Correct.
You need a year to develop, a year to season, a year to kind of realize, man, these guys are all big.
Yeah.
But if you're a special back and you were able to get a scholarship to a school like LSU, that means you're a pretty damn good back, because they just don't hand out scholarships to somebody that, maybe we'll give you the ball on 3rd and 1 every now and then. That's just not how that works.
No, it is not. Rogers, tell me about watching Saints Cowboys yesterday.
You know what?
Or did you listen?
I'm not gonna be like most Cowboy fans are to me.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, the one guy in this building here was all in my face. And, man, this is just one more game closer to the Super Bowl. And I was like, oh, so you're jumping on the Saints bandwagon as far as the Super Bowl? And he just laughed in my face, hadn't said a word to me all day long.
I was about to say, is he even at work today?
He came here, but he's been down on this end of the building one time.
Yeah. And was like not very pointedly not looking in the windows.
And walked by very quickly as Fletcher yelled out, how about them Cowboys?
Yeah.
So I didn't do it because I'm taking the high road, because there's no reason for me to rub it in. You got it rubbed in your face yesterday by the players, the coaching staff, and the Saints fans who were in attendance, which included my daughter a little bit.
Yep.
She said there were as many Saints fans there as Cowboys, and honestly, she said when the game started, that place wasn't packed out.
No,
there were empty Cowboys.
No, there weren't a lot of
because they thought this was going to be a pushover.
Right.
Well, they were right, just on the wrong team.
Correct. Rogers, here's what I want to know. Did you see the video afterwards of a second line going around AT&T
Oh, my God.
Stadium?
And people commenting what disrespect to the Cowboys organization. Those 3 hours we disrespected you. Now we're partying. Win, and you could dance. So shut up,
Here's what I need to know, though, Rogers. I need to know how the instruments got there.
Oh, you.
I'm just wondering, like, so
it was probably a charter bus that was able to carry all that.
Sure,
that came up from New Orleans.
That's what I want to know. Was it like a bus?
Yes.
And they packed their sousaphone and their trombones.
It had to be a New Orleans chapter of the Blues and Jazz Fest committee. They took a bus, chartered it, loaded it up. If we win, we're going to party. In fact, that there are Cowboy fans butthurt that the Saints fans were cheering and dancing in the street after when they just handed you your ass on a platter.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any bitching or griping, man. There's no Cowboy fan that all the experts, 97% of the experts picked
I think, Rogers,
the Cowboys.
I think the only guy that I saw that picked the Saints was Alex Smith, the former QB.
Wow.
And Alex Smith said he was picking them, and he thought it would be a very low-scoring defensive battle.
Wow.
Between the two teams. I was like, well, you got it half right. Like, you
got it half right.
But I mean, there's like everyone. Here's the other thing that cracked me up, Rogers. I was watching the clip from Mike Greenberg's show. Is it Get Up? I think is the show.
Yeah,
anyway,
God, I hate that show.
So I mean, none of the morning shows are any good. But anyway, Good Morning Football is pretty good over on the NFL Network.
Dude, thank you for saying that. In a minute, I want to give them a compliment because they did exactly what you said that everybody else wasn't doing.
Right.
even on Good Morning Football, they said, a couple channels down from us, I'm sure they're talking about what the Cowboys did and didn't do.
Right.
He goes, on this show this morning, we're sticking to the bylaws, and we're going to talk about how good the Saints were, not what was wrong with the Cowboys. And, dude, we put both TVs on that this morning and watched that because they did. They said, we know 2 channels down, all they're doing is saying what's wrong with the Cowboys.
Right.
After 2 weeks of the Saints, we're going to talk about the Saints,
Well,
how
here's
good
what's-
Derek Carr looks, how Gary Kubiak has found his home. We ain't putting excuses for the other team that just got blown out, and I respect that tremendously.
Here's what was crazy, Rogers. I watched there was just a clip that someone posted of, here's the highlights from ESPN on the Saints-Cowboys game. It was the Saints account that posted it. And it was a 5.5-minute clip on Twitter. So I watch it, and it's, the ESPN SportsCenter anchor was, I think it was Mehendi, whatever. I can't remember his first name. He's like, hey, let's give the Saints their due. They took care of business. And then here are the highlights, and they showed all the highlights. And all right, let's throw it to Dan Graziano or whoever down on the field. And he's on the field, and he might have talked about the Saints for about 10 to 15 seconds at the beginning of his clip. But then
he's one of the people who predicted them to finish behind Carolina in the division,
so
Patrick.
The rest of his 2-minute piece from the floor of AT&T Stadium, or as I like to call it, Jonestown, where they all drink the Kool-Aid and die in the end, except it's the playoffs for Dallas. The rest of his whole piece was about Zimmer's defense not getting it done. It was about the Cowboys not finding a way to finish. It was about Dak throwing an interception. He did not mention the Saints after the first 20 to 30 seconds of this piece, and it was just 2 minutes of they had a clip from Jerry Jones. They had, clips from Micah Parsons and Dak not the first bit of sound from any Saint. And we knew it was going to happen, and we predicted it was going to happen. The one person that I can guarantee you is going to talk about the Saints, Rogers, is Stephen A. Smith, because he hates the Cowboys. And so he's going to talk about the Saints. Now, he's going to also talk about the Cowboys. They already posted a video of him in front of his TV laughing maniacally, showing the post game after it was all said and done. It was a bloodletting for the Saints. And here's the thing. Look, I'm always a win with class guy. Y'all know that. That kind of flies out the window a bit when you get to the NFL, because they're all professionals. They're all getting paid hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Nothing that the Saints did would have constituted running it up anyway. But if you don't want the opposing team's fans to be dancing around your stadium, beat them. Stop them. All right? That's just the facts. How many times have the Saints lost to New Orleans and the opposing fan base is coming there for a party and they start partying? It just so happens the Saints got a little more organized, somehow showed up with tubas and trumpets and trombones and threw a whole frickin' second line right next to the stadium. It was amazing. All right, we'll talk more about everything going on in the NFL. More Saints, Cowboys, LSU, South Carolina. Hit us up on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter/X. We got comments on YouTube that we got to get to, comments on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line. Our show brought to you by the Pearl Shreveport, Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, and our friends at Hollis Dental Care. We'll take a break, come back with more right after this.
Have you lost Louisiana Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
There's a lot on the line this election, from protecting the Social Security you've earned to supporting family caregivers.
And you have the power to make the candidates listen, because voters 50 and over decide elections. That's why AARP Louisiana has created an election guide with the most up-to-date information about when, where, and how to vote. Make sure the candidates hear from you. Get trusted election information at aarp.org/LA votes. That's aarp.org/LA votes. Paid for by AARP.
Everyone's broken a phone, but not just anybody can fix one. Don't trust your phone to a fly-by-night shop. And don't try to fix it yourself. Let the experts at Batteries Plus keep you connected by replacing your screen, repairing your phone, or replacing the battery for you. Walk in anytime or make an appointment at batteriesplus.com and save $10. Trust the experts at Batteries Plus.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you gotta hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflush.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe, and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflush.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflush.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free, so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflush.com.
You've heard a lot of remarkable things about the Pearl Restaurant, located at Fern and 70th. In addition to the incredible food and drinks, the Pearl is now open for dinner 7 days a week, plus lunch or brunch on the weekends. The bar opens at 3, the restaurant opens at 4 Monday through Thursday, and it opens at 11 a.m. all weekend long. Amazing Louisiana-style food with flavor profiles unlike anything you'll find in the state. A 47-foot bar serving signature cocktails, spirits, wine, and beer. An unrivaled selection of both raw and cooked oysters. Plus, the Pearl is serving up amazing old-school favorites like burgers and certified Angus steaks, dry-aged and rubbed in their special Pearl dust. Both the burgers and steaks are Rogers Hampton approved, which is the most prestigious award that a food can receive. The Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue, right off East 70th. Whether you want an amazing lunch on the weekend or an elegant dinner any day of the week, the Pearl has you covered. Let them treat you right at the Pearl.
Get down to business. Tell everyone nothing's off limits. You can have anything you want.
Anything you want with Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, now offering heating and air conditioning too. The Green Team for the best plumbing, heating, air, get it all. One team, 3 generations of local service. Bobby L. Greene, your home team, 6310235. We have it all.
Hollis Dental Care is the premier one-stop shop for all your dental care needs in the Arklatex. Dr. Matt Hollis and his team can handle everything from simple cleanings to major dental implants, all in-house. And if you've got a toothache, call 318-703-6680 by 9 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and you're guaranteed to be seen the same day. That's Hollis Dental Care. Call them at 318-703-6680 or find them at Benton Road and Wimple. Hollis Dental Care, the best spot for your smile.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate me. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Hey, just stop by to say hello, and my gosh, look how busy it is in here. How'd you get all these customers?
Yeah, this month has been a record breaker. You know, for a long time, we had decent business coming in by word of mouth, but we weren't growing. Lately, though, a lot of folks have been finding us online, and that's made all the difference.
That's terrific. I wish I could figure out how to do that with my shop, but I have no idea where to start.
Just do what I did. It's not as hard as you think. Go to mylocalcustomers.com to see exactly how many searches there are for businesses just like yours.
Okay, then what?
Well, if you see there are a good number of clients searching in our area, you'll also get some suggestions for the best way to get their attention.
Do you think there are a lot of people searching for my business?
Only one way to find out. Go to mylocalcustomers.com. It's quick, easy, and free. Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free local customer analysis that will show you how many customers are searching online for your type of business. It's quick, easy, and free. Visit mylocalcustomers.com. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
It's time for the main course with Rogers Hampton. Here's your host, Patrick Netherton.
Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM. Rogers and Patrick, that's us. Hopefully my microphone's working now. I don't know. That was so weird. Like there's no reason that my microphone should have stopped working when it did. I don't know. I don't get it. But it sure enough just stopped working. I don't know why. All right, we're back. We'd love to hear from you. You can reach us in a couple of ways. You can call us on the Pearl Shreveport hotline, 318-RALLY-45, 318-725-5945. You can text us on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line, 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. Or you can reach us via our streaming platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter/X. Search for The Patrick Netherton Show on YouTube or Facebook, and look up at PT Netherton over on X, and you can find us, and you can send messages, just like Middlebrook did. Said, what's wild is the Cowboys fans blaming Dak for the loss. I guess they expect him to play safety, too. Yeah, I can't. Look, Dak threw 2 picks. He also threw a touchdown. That loss isn't on him. Cowboys weren't scoring 44, okay? The Saints defense is just too good right now. That was not going to happen. I mean, how good did Kool-Aid McKinstry play? He's a rookie. That dude was amazing. He was all over the place. Honey Badger had an interception, right? He played well. He had a big hit from one of your new safeties that dislodged the ball in the end zone. So it's a defense. We talked about the revamped defensive line, too, with Chase Young being there. We talked about Brzee, right? And he had a fumble caused. Just nothing more frustrating than watching people try to corral an oblong-shaped semi-sphere in Brzee punches it out, ball's bouncing around, guys are trying to pick it up, run with it, and then ultimately the Cowboys ended up just get on the ball. And then the Cowboys ended up getting a field goal out of it because
and then the one Cowboy touchdown was exact
missed tackle
replica of the Minnesota Miracle.
Yeah, it was.
Two horrible tackles, 2 horrible misplaced coverages. I mean, so they really didn't do that anyway. And then they have no running game, Patrick.
They really
Cowboys
don't.
have no running.
And
that's
really
why
don't.
I think people are frustrated with Dak, because now he's got to run and throw. And he's going to get killed and injured, and you're going to be in a you-know-what ton of trouble then.
Yeah, it was not pretty. I will say this, though, Rogers. Very hilarious when it was fine, like everyone knew the game was over, and everyone starts putting their backups in, right? The Saints put Hainer in, and the Cowboys put, who was their backup? I tweeted it yesterday, and let me see. I got to go back and find it because it was, I'm not going to lie, I laughed my butt off. Let's see. It was Cooper Rush. Rodgers. Cooper Rush doing Dak Prescott's cadence was
and what the
hilarious.
hell was that? What was like, now, come on now, or what? Every damn play he said the same four
here we
words.
go. Yeah, here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah,
now, here we go.
No, it's
no. Red at the house was like, why does he keep saying
hold
that?
On, Rodgers.
I'm like, no,
hold on. This has been a running joke for 2 years now.
That's funny.
Yeah, here we go.
I don't ever watch the Cowboys because I hate them.
Right.
But I'm going to watch them then, especially the way the game started. I said, you know what? I'm going to kind of keep an eye on this game, see how this goes.
Yeah. It's the same thing. Yeah, here we go. Hut. Same cadence.
So Dak is sloth too.
Yes. Also, Rodgers, wow. I forgot to say hey you guys. I forgot to say hey you guys during after the lollipop deal. My bad. They
have no running game, so they're in trouble there. And I like what you said earlier about other teams now will take the blueprint against one of the best defenders in the league, and Micah Parsons. And I swear to you, before the game, Patrick, Lauren, when she let me know she got to the stadium and she was in her seats and sent me a picture, I said, you know what, babe? I said, here's my theory to attack Micah Parsons today. Run right at him, go right at him, because he's one of the best pass rushers in the league. Well, you don't let him get a running start to come after your quarterback. All of a sudden, you go toward him with a tackle or a tight end, like you said, or have the running back waiting to chip him after. Well, guess what? You've cut down half his time, half his speed, and now is he not only dealing with a tackle, a tight end, and a running back. By then, the plays past him, and the one time they did let him rush, the running back chipped him just enough to not get Carr. After that, what did they do? Anytime they threw away from him, it was to the left. They either ran at him, went at him, or they went to the left, and you eliminated one of the best damn defenders in the league.
And look, Micah Parsons said after the game, he's like, look, they were very creative in how they blocked me. He said they were doing a great job of – and like that play that I mentioned, right? The tackle blocked down. So he's against a tight end and a running back, which he's going to win 90% of the time,
especially one-on-one.
Right, except the tight end took him first and engaged him and slowed him down, and then he's going to beat the tight end. He's going to beat any tight end in the business. So he does.
Then the running
back's waiting on him. The problem is as soon as he beat the tight end, the running back cut him. And now, if that's not timed perfectly by the Saints, that's an illegal chop block. You can't be engaged with a guy and then have someone else dive at his legs. But because
then the ball's out.
Well, yeah, and because the tight end engaged him, kept him a second or two, then when he got past the tight end, the running back waited until he was disengaged and then cut him. And at that point, you're just exhausted. Like, you don't want to deal with it anymore. And Carr's already got the ball out, and they're moving on. They also ran incredibly well wide. A lot of pitches, a lot of off tackles, didn't try to attack in the middle. But what I was going to say, and it's funny that you had not heard Dak's cadence, the here we go, which he says every play and has done it for about 2 or 3 seasons now.
Oh, I'm glad I don't watch him then, because that was so
aggravating. Here we go.
I mean, I was like, this is idiotic.
That's what he does every single time.
And then all of a sudden, Carr would be up and Shannon would be going, he's doing blue 32, 4 Z8s. And she's like, what? I was like, I don't even want to get into it.
Yeah, here we go.
We're whipping their butt, just enjoy it.
Yeah, here we go is what he's always said. But the hilarious. So that's the cadence for the Cowboys. So Cooper Rush comes in. And like Dax, and I think I did a pretty good job of it. Dax is very gravelly. It's here we go, like kind of a gravelly sound like that. Hope I didn't blow everyone's ears out with that. But Cooper Rush comes in and he doesn't have the same vocal abilities or maybe vocal tone or whatever. So he was like, yeah, here we go. He sounded like a little kid. It was hilarious.
Oh, take off, eh?
Yeah, like as soon as
You hosers?
the first time he goes, yeah, here we go. Like the first time I heard that, I busted out laughing. I'm not gonna lie, I cracked
I
the
didn't
hell
notice
up.
that because by then I was so happy with the ass whipping they were putting on Cowboys.
I
it was funny 'cause
I honestly didn't pay attention to it until like I wasn't paying attention to the fact that he was even in the game. And I was just
same
like,
here. By then I was so
I'm like doing other things or whatever. But I heard it. I heard,
Yeah.
here we go, and I'm like, oh my God, what?
I didn't catch that one because I was just having too much fun.
It was so
funny.
funny.
I texted Lauren. We were in like mid-third quarter when it was kind of starting to. You could kind of tell where this was going. And I was like, man, have they started leaving yet, the fans? And she goes, a few. She goes, to be honest with you, Dad, this wasn't that packed when the game started.
Yeah.
There were a lot of empty seats. And then when they scored one more time, she texted me, oh, they're all leaving now.
And you could hear,
and I went,
the who dat chants very clearly in the building.
I told her that, and Lauren goes, well, that was probably me.
Well,
and I said, well, yep, you're loud.
Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady pointed it out. And by the way, while we're talking about it, how about some praise for Tom Brady?
He did so much better.
Yeah, he was bad in week one.
Burkhardt didn't have to lead him on everything. So obviously during the work week, they told him, hey,
they got to him and said, here's what we need.
We need to have you volunteer your information and your knowledge, not have this guy drag it out of you like you don't know what you're talking about. I agree with you. I'm not the biggest Tom Brady fan. He's the GOAT. But I'm not the biggest Tom Brady fan. But, no, he did so much better from week 1 to week 2. So he followed the NFL advice. You get your most improvement from week 1 to week 2.
Yeah. Buster said Tom Brady praised the Saints more than any of the other announcers. Well, he didn't have any choice. He's at the game.
No, you didn't have to because the game was over.
Well, he had to praise the Saints because that's what was unfolding in front of him. The talking heads in the studio can then turn around and go, okay, what's wrong with the Cowboys? But as a game announcer, you have to tell us what's happening in front of you. And what was happening in front of you was the Saints were beating the hell out of the Cowboys' defense.
They out-coached them, out-schemed them, outplayed them, out-thought them, outsmarted them, and just played them from head to toe. Now, I just wanted them to hang in the game with a chance to win. There's no way I thought this was going to happen. But this is different. Gary Kubiak has a control on this offense. He has an idea. He just went through all this with McCaffrey and Debo and Frisco, and he's basically got the same thing with Taysom and Alvin there. And you can tell Dennis Allen has given him full control because the defense is looking better. Why? Now Dennis Allen is paying more attention to what he does best, and let's be a defensive guy.
We've said repeatedly, Dennis Allen is an elite defensive coordinator.
Very much so.
Period. End of discussion. And even Brady was talking about how difficult it was to prepare for Dennis Allen's defenses.
And right now, Gary Kubiak, it's up to him to save his head coaching job.
Rogers, that's Clint Kubiak, not Gary Kubiak.
But it's the same thing.
I mean, it kind of is.
It's like saying Rogers Hampton Jr. He picked me out of his ear and threw me out. Yeah. So there we
go. They're all from the Shanahan.
It's just right now you can tell Dennis Allen has let the offense completely go. That defense looks better. And yes, they're going to have clunkers and they're going to lose games. I'm not that delirious. But the first 2 games, it was Carolina. Well, a lot of the national pundits like Graziano that we've already done bashed on, they're not even going to win 2 games. They're not even going to finish ahead of the Panthers. Okay, well, the Dallas Cowboys and all the national love media and how great they are, well, yeah, let's don't give the Saints any credit, and I don't care. I love being under the radar, but you just beat the crap out of America's team that everybody's supposed to love.
Yep.
They're not that good. They have a lot of holes, Patrick.
We don't we all? By the way,
and then we hadn't even gotten to the best team in Texas yet.
The Longhorns?
Well, that and the Texans.
Oh, the Texans. Okay, yes.
Yeah, there are 2 better teams in Texas than the Cowboys.
There are. Longhorns, by the way, #1 in the country in the polls.
And
so
to not have a drop-off and maybe even better with your backup quarterback is amazing.
Well, I love the fact that Sark said the offense doesn't change, and I'm like, that's BS. You run Manning a little more than you're going to run Quinn Ewers.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Manning
Ewers
had a
is
60-something. By the way, did you see that on Manning's touchdown run, he actually ran faster than Tyreek Hill?
Did he really?
Yeah, I think they had him clocked at like 20.4 miles an hour, and Tyreek Hill's was like 20.3 miles an hour or something.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, all right. And he said, as he should, I get my athleticism from my mom, not my dad. Although Cooper was the athlete of the group.
He was more the athlete, not just the stand.
He was the wide receiver
statue back there. Yeah.
All right, let's get to a few texts before we get to the break. Zachary said Dallas just got straight up beat, and I'm a longtime Cowboys fan, and it's probably going to happen again this year. Going into the season, I did not expect the Saints to be nearly as good as they are right now. Basically, I still think Dallas could maybe, like you said, win the rest of the games and 2 or 3 losses possibly. I think they'll come second place in the division. But right now, after 2 weeks, the Saints are the best team in the NFL. Yeah, again, 2 weeks is too soon for me to declare that. I think the Saints are definitely the surprise team of the league right now. I thought they would be, around 500 like they have been the last several years. I did not know, and we didn't see, right? They didn't show any of this in the preseason, as they shouldn't. They shouldn't show any of this in the preseason. But we didn't see any of these crazy formations, personnel groupings. Carr, he only played a few series in the preseason. Like, we didn't see any of this. So we had no way to know that the offense was going to be this effective this early with the Saints, and it has been. Carr's great off of play action, and they've run a ton of it. A lot of motions, a lot of formations, a lot of personnel groupings, weird personnel in strange places. Shaheed lined up in the backfield. Taysom Hill lined up wide. Alvin Kamara is a fullback. They've done all kind of wacky things, and all of it has worked so far. Somebody's going to have their number. They're going to lose. They're not going to go undefeated. But right now, Saints fans have to be feeling just absolutely giddy with what Clint Kubiak has done with Derek Carr and that offense. All right, we got more text to get to when we come back. It's the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM. Find us over on our streaming platforms on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter/X. We got more comments to get to on both the text line and on our social media platforms, on our streaming platforms. We'll do all that when we come back.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-518-1409.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-518-1409. That's 800-518-1409.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey LSU Tiger fans! Got junk piling up? Trash Bandits, your local junk removal experts in Shreveport, are here to help. Whether you want to be hands-on or hands-off, we've got you covered. From dumpster rentals to hoarding cleanups, we haul it all. Proudly rooting for the LSU Tigers, we're family-owned and operated, providing reliable and trusted service. Go to www.trashbanditsla.com and reclaim your space. Your local junk removal team cheering on the LSU Tigers all season long. Go Tigers!
Are you ready to take your brand to new heights? At Town Square Media, your success is our ultimate goal. At Town Square Media, we understand that reaching your audience across various platforms is essential in today's fast-paced landscape. One size fits none in the realm of marketing. See firsthand how Town Square Media crafts tailored solutions that align with your unique goals. Whether it's increasing brand awareness, driving sales, or fostering community engagement, our ability to customize strategies that deliver exactly what you need when you need it. Town Square Media isn't just a partner. We're your brand's most passionate advocate. See how Town Square Media can transform your vision into a reality that resonates, engages, and inspires. Call and schedule your free business analysis today. 318-688-1130. 318-688-1130. Your brand story starts here with Town Square Media, where innovation meets impact and your success is our priority.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SUPPORT, or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off. roundhouseprovisions.com, code SUPPORT.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Everyone's broken a phone, but not just anybody can fix one. Don't trust your phone to a fly-by-night shop. And don't try to fix it yourself. Let the experts at Batteries Plus keep you connected by replacing your screen, repairing your phone, or replacing the battery for you. Walk in anytime or make an appointment at batteriesplus.com and save $10. Trust the experts at Batteries Plus.
I got my together.
I got my together.
You can get your shots together too. Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hollis Dental Care is the premier one-stop shop for all your dental care needs in the Arklatex. Dr. Matt Hollis and his team can handle everything from simple cleanings to major dental implants, all in-house. And if you've got a toothache, call 318-703-6680 by 9 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and you're guaranteed to be seen the same day. That's Hollis Dental Care. Call them at 318-703-6680 or find them at Benton Road and Wimple. Hollis Dental Care, the best spot for your smile.
Get down to business. Tell everyone nothing's off limits. You can have anything you want.
Anything you want with Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, now offering heating and air conditioning too.
Anything you want.
The Green Team for the best plumbing, heating, air. Get it all.
You can have anything you want.
One team, 3 generations of local service. Bobby L. Greene, your home team, 6310235. We have it all.
You've heard a lot of remarkable things about the Pearl Restaurant, located at Fern and 70th. In addition to the incredible food and drinks, the Pearl is now open for dinner 7 days a week, plus lunch or brunch on the weekends. The bar opens at 3, the restaurant opens at 4 Monday through Thursday, and it opens at 11 a.m. all weekend long. Amazing Louisiana-style food with flavor profiles unlike anything you'll find in the state. A 47-foot bar serving signature cocktails, spirits, wine, and beer. An unrivaled selection of both raw and cooked oysters. Plus, the Pearl is serving up amazing old-school favorites like burgers and certified Angus steaks, dry-aged and rubbed in their special Pearl dust. Both the burgers and steaks are Rogers Hampton approved, which is the most prestigious award that a food can receive. The Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue, right off East 70th. Whether you want an amazing lunch on the weekend or an elegant dinner any day of the week, the Pearl has you covered. Let them treat you right at the Pearl.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate. RejuveMeMedical.com.
KWKH and K277DO Shreveport, 103.3 FM and 1130 The Tiger. Bossier City's home for LSU sports, a Town Square Media station.
Floating through the airwaves like smooth hickory smoke, Patrick Netherton.
Hambone knows how to make a boy happy, that's for sure. Now it's not an accident. I do it on purpose, saying that about Hambone. We got to give away our Pearl Upset Special. Got to do that coming up here in just a bit. More talk about Saints Cowboys. Got some comments on that. You can reach us in a variety of ways. Call us on the Pearl Shreveport hotline, 318-725-5945. Hit us up on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line, 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. And you can also send us a message on any of our streaming platforms, Facebook, YouTube, or X, a.k.a. Twitter. Middlebrook said Kubiak's game design and play calling are brilliant. He gives so many different looks on purpose. Then when we give the same look, we do something different the next time. A great example is when we had pre-snap motion with Shaheed and faked a jet sweep right and then handed Kamara the ball off tackle right. He got a chunk on that play early, I think, for a first down. Then in the third quarter, I think, they have the same look, but faked the handoff to Kamara, rolled Carr out on a naked play-action bootleg back to where Shaheed motioned. It should also be noted that Kubiak is doing 21 personnel and a run-first mentality, which plays to the strength of Penning and masks his shortcomings. Yeah, by the way, the tackles have been really good this year. Fuaga looks like one of the best picks in the draft. He has been an absolute beast. I don't think he has a negative play yet this year. Meanwhile, Penning, as Middlebrook mentioned, yeah, Penning is definitely playing better. They're, when he's got a big time pass rusher over him, they'll chip or they'll help to that side. He hasn't given up much in the way of pressure. He's been an absolute mauler in the run game, which is where he excels. So you're basically kind of masking his deficiencies, as Middlebrook said, and you are allowing him to gain a lot of confidence. So, within the next 3, 4, 5 games, you would hope that confidence would translate to even being a little bit stronger in his run blocking, not needing a chip or a help on a big-time pass rusher. He was giving up sacks left and right to Chase Young in camp, but has not really done that so far through the course of the season. And so, again, some of that is helping him with additional personnel. Some of that is just him being a little more comfortable, it looks like, and they are they're using what he does best, right? They run block more with him, but they're very left-handed when it comes to when they need something, they go left-handed, and that's because that's Fuaga over on the left side, and he looks like an absolute stud over on the left side. All right, let's get to some more texts on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line. Bevo said, I think Texas won Saturday. Yes, I think they did too, Bevo, and I believe they are the number 1 team in the country as well. So you got that going for you, which is nice. Draco said, Roll Tide. Yeah, look, I took the over on the Roll Tide because they're scoring a lot of points. Look, Kalen DeBoer knows how to coach offense, man. That guy is an offensive, I don't know if genius is the correct term, but that dude knows how to coach offense. And he brought his offensive coordinator with him from Washington, who's the guy that's been with him forever. And they know what they're doing on the offensive side of the ball. and it's showing. Like, they look really good, and they're letting their QB throw it a bit, but he's also running it as you would expect. He's a dual threat guy, and they're using both threats. Draco also said the Cajun Cannon was rubbing it in their face on the post-game show, as he should. He's earned the right to do that. Draco said Jane Slater was looking so good. Okay, thank you, Draco. Also said Cooper Rush. Yeah, we got that. Cocky said Omaha. Yeah, it definitely the Omaha thing was one thing, but the here we go is ridiculous. Rogers, I don't know if you saw, but one of the posts that the Saints had for the final score graphic, actually the wording, and I think it may have been on Facebook, but it was the final score graphic, and the basically the caption they put on it was "Here we go," with like
I
four
reposted
O's.
that on Facebook.
Yeah. And that's...
I'm not posting much anymore these days, but I had to today. Between LSU, the Texans, and the Saints. But, yeah, the headline was, "Here we go." And I went, okay.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, man, that was so aggravating. Like I said, and Shannon's not the smartest football player in the world. And we were watching the game, and I have to explain a lot every week about why they did that, especially now with Kubiak. Oh, good gosh.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand what's happening with all this stuff going on.
Well, Rogers, she's no different than the Dallas defense.
Yes.
They didn't know what was going on either.
When she finally started hearing Dak do that, she went, that is kind of aggravating.
Yeah.
And she did the rest of the game, that's all she could hear. And I went, this is why I guess I don't watch them, and I didn't know because I can't stand watching them.
Right.
And boy, this even makes me more not, okay, I know they play the Texans later in the season, so I'll watch that one. But other than that, I will not watch a Cowboys game.
Or at least have it on mute, so you don't have to hear it.
Yeah, no, not even on mute.
Oh, I know you're not going to watch the Cowboys.
If they're not playing the Texans or the Saints,
right.
I do not watch a single. I don't give any of my life breath to that team.
I understand.
I grew up in Houston, an Oilers fan, and I'm born in Louisiana. Sorry, there's two teams I care about way more than them.
By the way, speaking of the Texans, Rogers, I didn't watch a lot of that game, but I watched the end. And I'll say this, for whatever his issues are, Caleb Williams is a tough SOB. Like, that dude got beat the hell up.
But he's not going to last.
I mean, they were breaking him in half, and he just kept getting back up and going again.
And the Texans kept leaving him in it because there were a couple of mistakes they made that they had another touchdown or two in them where it wouldn't even have been close. But that's what a good team does. You win when you play bad, and you win when you play good.
Yeah, you find a way to win. That's all that matters. Whether you're the Saints and you're putting up 91 points.
Texans 2-0, Saints 2-0.
Rogers
LSU
Hampton
might have saved their season a little bit.
Hambone, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't the Astros sweep over the weekend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
they have a 4.5 game lead with like 12 left, so they're in pretty good shape.
Yeah. I'd say Hambone's in pretty good shape.
They got Tucker back. Altuve's a little dinged up, but and Verlander's not regained his form. But you got somebody like a Verlander you can bring in as maybe your third starter in the playoffs. I think I'll take that.
By the way, bad news for the Chiefs, who Isaac Pacheco, he's going to be on the IR, so he'll be out for a bit.
Yeah.
But we talked about early, Andy Dalton in, Bryce Young out.
Yep.
At least for the moment.
And I was just watching a segment on NFL Live here that two of the guest guys had two different opinions. One was a quarterback who has stepped out of the end zone before, saying that, well, man, if they're giving up on him, Bryce Young right now, that means they're losing the locker, that they're losing, that this is just going to go so disaster. The other guy's Ryan Clark, the LSU guy. He goes,
right.
I look at it the opposite. He goes, you got a brand new coach in Canales. He's not tied to Bryce Young. That was Frank Wright.
Right.
He goes, this guy's trying to save his job and win now, not give you the old we're building for the future. And right now you got a veteran quarterback in Dalton. You're trying to win now. So I really liked Ryan Clark's opinion on that of, hey, you know what? If Bryce Young isn't that good, you're still trying to save the season. You ain't worried about losing the locker. And you said it earlier. These are professionals making hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars. I don't need you to be butthurt, buddy. Go look at your checking account. It's way better than mine.
Yeah, it's and look, I still think Bryce Young's very talented.
And he may
end up being a decent quarterback. You just don't know at this point. It's so early, and he's on such a bad team.
And this league gives up on people so easy now.
They really do. I mean, look at Rodgers. Look at Gardner Minshew. Look at Sam Darnold.
Yes.
Right? Like how many times have people given up on Sam Darnold? And he looks like
And
you could
both
argue
their teams won yesterday.
Yeah, and you could argue that Sam Darnold looks like the best quarterback in the league right now. Not named Derek Carr. I mean,
I was going to say, come on, man, give it to ODC.
I'm just saying, like it's a like this league is full of guys.
New blood, new places.
Right.
You get reinvigorated. You get re-energized. Eventually, it all levels out, but at least it shows these organizations made the right move on people they brought in because they are having success, which means they're a pretty good evaluator of talent.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line. Double J said Tua got concussed again, says he's not going to retire, but why continue knowing what we know about brain injuries? I'll tell you why you continue, Double J. It's because guys at that level that play pro sports at the level that, at the highest possible level, and that's where Tua is, they don't know how not to play. Like, they don't know how not to go out and compete. The guys, the Robert Smiths and the Barry Sanders of the world who will get to a certain point and go, okay, I've done enough, right? I'm going to just hang it up. Aaron Donald, right? He was kind of cut the same way. Like, these guys get to a certain point and they go, okay, I've had enough. I've done enough. I'm going to save my body, right? I mean, Barry Sanders probably had 2 or 3 more years in him. Robert Smith had 2 or 3 more years in him. Aaron Donald certainly had 2 or 3 more years in him, where he could have still been the most dominant defensive lineman we'd ever seen. But those guys are the absolute vast minority when it comes to players at that level. You don't get to the NFL without having some level of obsession with what you do, without having just an insane amount of drive to get you there. And so a guy like Tua, right, he wants to compete. He wants to get out on the field. It's his team. He feels like he owes it to his guys to get out there and compete. The rest of us look at it and go, dude, save yourself. Right? You're going to be one of these guys that kills himself when he's 45 because you can't handle the trauma of going through what your brain has gone through. We've seen that so many times with NFL players, right? Junior Seau, the perfect example.
Yeah.
Yet they're not wired that way, right? I'm wired.
It's hard for them to let that go. That's all they know.
That's it. They all they
That's
know
their
is competing.
livelihood.
They wake up every morning and it's I've got to compete to get better,
I've got to get
out
my
and
body
win.
better. I've got to get in for treatment. I've got to get in for
that's in March.
Yes. Yes.
In October, they're like, all right, I'm up. I'm watching film. I'm getting treatment. All right, now it's time to go to practice. Now it's time to eat. Now it's time to go back to practice. Now it's more film study. Now I got to get in with my position group. I got to talk to my coordinator. Like, that's all these guys know is how to compete and how to go out there and try to win every single day. And to flip that switch off is incredibly difficult. Rogers, it's for me, it would be the exact opposite. It would be, I would have such a difficult time turning that switch on because I'm not a competitive guy. I'm not a get up and win every day. I'm a like, let's just enjoy life. Let's have some fun. Let's, I'm not saying we need to be terrible or be bad people or we need to, whatever. I'm just saying, like, I'm the kind of guy that just wants to kind of cruise a little bit. Like, I'll work at what I need to work at, but I'm not I'm going to get up at 6 a.m. and grind. Like, that's not who I am. That's not who I want to be.
When you don't have to.
Exactly. Now, Rogers, if I'm getting paid $30 million,
then I'm getting up.
To get up and grind, well, guess what?
Getting up.
We're getting up and grinding.
Yep.
Is what we're doing. But no one's paying me.
On stage 3.
I mean, no offense, but, our dear leader's not paying me that kind of money to get up and grind every day, Rogers. So, if given the opportunity, these guys, and again, this has been instilled in these guys think about it. Tua is what? late 20s, 27, 28, 29, something like that.
Middle 20s. Yeah, he's not as old as you think.
And think about how long. I mean, he spent more than half of his life in some kind of competitive environment, whether it's middle school football, whether it's high school football, college, pros. Like, that dude has spent more than half of his life in a, Double J said 26. I wasn't far off, 27. So
we said middle 20s. That means 25, 26, 27. Yeah. That's what middle 20s means.
So he's a guy who has spent, I mean, I would say what, Rogers? 14, 15 is when you get to high school.
And then 14, if you play Pee-wee ball, you've been doing it since you're 8, 9 years old.
Right. And chances are he played
And he came from a family
school.
with a hard-ass dad.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about a guy who has basically his entire adult life, and as he's gotten into adulthood, has just been grinding. That's his whole life, has been, how do I get up every day and get better at this? When he becomes the quarterback at Alabama, right? How do I get up every day and get better at this? When he becomes the quarterback in his high school, how do I get up every day and get better at this? When he gets into the pros, he's got Mike McDaniel. How do I get up every day and get better at this? That's what these guys know. So I am not at all surprised that a guy like Tua Tagovailoa wouldn't choose to retire, even though the right now there are probably very qualified people that are in his ear saying, look, you don't need to do this anymore. But what do they want? They all want to win the Super Bowl. They all want the shiny ring. They all want the accolades. They all want to be known as the best that's ever been. You know, I mean, think about what, Tua comes in relief of, which one did Jalen Hurts, right? That's who he came in for?
Yes, absolutely. Good call,
And he
Patrick.
comes in and he throws the touchdown in overtime, and on 1st and 20 or 25 or whatever it was, he throws the touchdown and Alabama wins a national championship. Like, that is a high that he will spend the rest of his life chasing. The people and the athletes that are wired differently, again, I go back to Robert Smith, I go back to Barry Sanders. To me, those are the prime examples of guys who were still had good time left. Aaron Donald this past year, right? These are guys that still had good time left, but could turn it off.
Patrick, probably the first one that shocked the world goes all the way back to Jim Brown.
Yeah, Jim Brown only played, 9 seasons?
He quit at the height of his career when he was still mowing people over.
Yeah.
And that was back in a time when you didn't know about the medical stuff.
You didn't have CTE.
There was no CTE.
Yeah.
There was no – he just was like, you know what? I'm just kind of tired of doing this, and I want to move on and get into acting. He got lucky. But, yeah, you're right. The other guys were smart enough to get out even before they knew about that. Barry Sanders, all that, Robert Smith. But now, even though the players know, you're right, they still are going to do what they can unless somebody, a neurologist tells Tua,
right,
dude, you're one more hit away from maybe being a vegetable. Then you have to quit because you have a family and they love you and you love them. I hope it's not that bad, but – If it is that bad, because we've seen him wobble now every year.
Yeah, and he's doing
we've
the
seen
fencing
the hand
pose.
shaking thing on the
doing
ground.
The fencing pose where he's like, the neurology.
It
I mean,
may
they've
be
seen all
one
of
of those deals where the doctors go, you know what, dude, is it worth your life? And the Dolphins may have to make a decision of, look, dude, we're putting on you the physically unable to perform list. You're done. Because I don't want this guy to make a stupid decision. And if he's told he's one hit away and he still says, so what, then somebody's got to step in.
Someone, Cocky, brought up Andrew Luck. And Andrew Luck he didn't walk away because he just wanted to quit. He walked away because he had so many injuries that had piled up.
He was hurting from the neck to the feet.
He just didn't want to do it anymore, right? I'm talking about guys.
He couldn't really because it hurts so bad.
I'm talking about guys that walked away in reasonable health. Robert Smith, you mentioned Jim Brown, Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders.
These are guys
exactly right.
Aaron Donald. These are guys that walked away and were
Barry
in
Sanders
reasonable
shocked
health.
the world, Patrick, because he was going to be the all-time NFL rushing leader. No question about it.
No doubt. I mean, look, he to me, he's the best running back I've ever seen in my lifetime. And he just, okay, I'd had enough. I'd done it. I did what I needed to. Don't care about the individual
world,
records.
But I look back now and I respect it.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
I just think it's a,
Yeah.
but we're talking less than 1% of the league is wired
Absolutely.
in that regard, where
Yeah.
I'm healthy. Look, Tua, the doctors may come to him and say, hey, look, man, you've had multiple concussions. Like, you've definitely sustained some brain trauma. You need to walk away. Like, you need to go ahead and leave. This is going to be detrimental to your health. Like, the next hit you take may be the last one you ever take. But in his mind, he's 26 and bulletproof, right? Like, okay, so
Man,
what?
If a doctor tells you this may be the last hit you ever take, you have to listen.
You need to listen. But at this point,
his dad needs to step in. If he's got a wife or a girlfriend or kid,
and look, Mike McDaniel,
you're one hit away from you're not going to get up off that damn field, then you have to make a decision.
Yeah, and look, Mike McDaniel, I'll say this for him: he seems like a very thoughtful, empathetic.
He's a strange bird, but he is very intelligent and seems very sensitive.
And so, you watch that press conference. If you watched it, saw it after the game, like, you could tell he was emotional about what he saw and about this guy continuing to get hurt. And so he, I think if it came down to it, and it was like, look, the doctors will clear him, but they won't. They're going to say he should not be playing, but we can't say he can't play. But
or
he
give him a
be
time
playing.
frame of, hey, no more than 2 weeks, and we'll reevaluate.
Well, I'm just saying, if there comes a time where the doctors say he shouldn't play, but we'll clear him, and Tua says, well, I'm going to play, I think Mike McDaniel might say, no, you're not.
I was going to say that's where the Dolphins front office needs to
like
step up.
I wouldn't be surprised if Mike McDaniel is the kind of coach and the kind of person that would go, look, we have a better chance to win with Tua at quarterback. However, we're not going to go out and sacrifice a guy. The doctor said you shouldn't play, but you can. Like, we're medically clearing you, but we advise against it. And Tua says, well, I don't care. I'm going out there to play. If I'm Mike McDaniel, I got to be the bigger man and say, look, I'm your coach.
He's got the power to
not. Like, I'm not going to play you.
He's got the power to make the starting lineup.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to play you at this point. Like, this is too dangerous. And maybe we come back in a year, or maybe we come back in a month, or maybe we come back in 6 months. Maybe you don't come back at all.
And
maybe you don't come back at all. But you know what? Someone has to be the adult in the room. And if the player is not going to, because again, the players are hardwired to compete all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
Money doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is winning. That's all those guys care about. That's what they want to do.
All they've been taught.
Correct.
All they've been coached.
That's how they've been hardwired from pee-wee ball, is to win. Right or wrong, and I think a lot of it's wrong. Someone has to be the adult in the room, and that someone might be his head coach, because even though he's a young guy, Mike McDaniel, he seems like a guy that is very emotionally connected and aware and smart. And so I wouldn't be surprised that if this comes out, Mike McDaniel might be the guy that ultimately makes that call. And keep in mind,
I know we
Rodgers,
got to take a break.
Yeah, I was going to say, the other thing is, I believe if he has to retire for medical reasons, I believe his contract is guaranteed. I think he will still get paid if he has to retire for medical
nowadays
reasons.
all these contracts they get, there's such a chunk guaranteed that no matter what happens, they're going to get $60 million.
He's going to be fine.
And they're good forever.
Yeah.
So you'd rather have $60 million and know you have $60 million and have $60 million and don't know you have $60 million.
Or have $60 million and be dead and your kids have
That's
it.
right. But no, speaking of, while we're talking about little health issues, by any chance, have you heard the story about our good SEC Network friend Peter Burns?
I have not.
Friday night, I was watching it in the first hour of your show. Watching the rerun of him and Chris Durning's show in the morning.
Yeah.
Apparently, Friday night, they were at the Missouri game. They were all out with the crew, Commissioner Sankey, having dinner. He started choking on a piece of steak in his chest. 2 minutes in, he was blacking out. 4 people tried to dislodge it. He said he saw his life flash before his eyes, thought he was dying. The one last guy that got it removed it.
Wow.
He said he was dying, and nobody could get the stake out of his chest.
Yeah.
And the Missouri medical staff took him to their facilities to x-ray him. He has 4 broken ribs from those people trying to save his life.
I mean, look, one of the things they tell you about doing the Heimlich maneuver is you're going to probably
get a broken
break a rib. Like, you're going to break somebody's rib when you do it, but do it.
It was so emotional. He was crying on the screen
live.
I bet. And his buddy Chris was on split screen, and he was trying to keep it together too. And he ended it with going, you know, Chris, we have a lot of people talk about how you and I go back and forth and we argue and they want to know if we really don't like each other. And I have to tell them we're like brothers.
Yeah.
He goes, this is what we do. We have fun. And that hit so home with me. But Peter Burns was crying and Chris was like, dude, you don't know how much I thought about you when I heard about this on Friday night, how much I was thankful you were okay, and just want you to know how, you know, I'm so proud to have you as a brother in my life. But it was a very emotional segment, Patrick, because Peter Burns was crying, he goes, it was 2 minutes in, I'm blacking out, I can't breathe, and I'm thinking this is it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad our buddy, because Peter Burns is a good dude.
Yeah, he's a friend of the show.
Knock on wood. Thank you, Lord, for the guy that got there. He goes, I'm in some pain this morning, but it's better than not being here. And I went, amen, brother.
Being in pain
I
is
didn't know
better
if you
than
had
being
seen
dead.
that.
No,
I
I had not.
What a good
wild.
dude Peter Burns is. So maybe reach out to him, and he might be a future guest to talk to him, because it was very emotional, and I was glad that it was your opening segment, so you weren't really talking to me that much.
Right.
I'll be honest with you, I was getting a little choked up, Patrick.
Don't use that phrase, Rogers.
You could see in his eyes he thought he was dying, because he said
Rogers.
He goes, I thought about my family. I thought about my friends.
He's got 2
he goes,
kids.
Yes, he goes, my life flashed before my eyes and it was about to be gone.
Yeah.
He goes, and it was a very emotional segment, and I just didn't know if you'd seen it.
I had not.
And so maybe that's something, reach out to him and say, hey, Raj saw this. We're glad you're okay. If you want to come on in the future. It was very emotional, and I just wanted to make sure you and I talked about that.
Yeah, that's wild. I've had to do the Heimlich maneuver twice. Both times it was successful, which I'm thankful for. But yeah, if you don't know how to do it, basically you go fist over fist around someone. Usually they recommend that you kind of stick your thumb out a little bit to kind of create a little bit of a wedge or kind of a point. You wrap your arms around them. You find right below where their rib cage is, kind of right below the breastbone, and you do upward thrusts, in and up to try to dislodge it, and that's how you do the Heimlich maneuver. They said, look, most of the time you're going to break a rib when you do it, and that's okay. They'd rather patch up a broken rib than try to revive someone who stopped breathing. So, yeah, learn first aid, folks. I'm just lucky I was in the right spot when I could give the Heimlich to a couple of different people and take care of that. So, yeah, very important. All right, I know we're behind on a break. We'll take a break. It's the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And by the way, we're going to give away our Pearl Upset Special next on the Patrick Netherton Show.
Splash into massive savings at Splash Pools and Spas. Get up to 75% off all in-stock patio sets and accessories. All 2024 hot tub models must go, and we're loading you up with freebies. Free cover, free steps, free cover lifter, free fast local delivery, and free white glove setup. Ask about bonus incentives for quick delivery. Plus, all 2024 play sets must go. Save up to $1,000 on in-stock models. Splash into savings today at Splash. Bert Coons at the Interloop in Shreveport and Airline Drive in Bossier City.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
And welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflush.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflush.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflush.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflush.com.
You've heard a lot of remarkable things about the Pearl Restaurant, located at Fern and 70th. In addition to the incredible food and drinks, the Pearl is now open for dinner 7 days a week, plus lunch or brunch on the weekends. The bar opens at 3, the restaurant opens at 4 Monday through Thursday, and it opens at 11 a.m. all weekend long. Amazing Louisiana-style food with flavor profiles unlike anything you'll find in the state. A 47-foot bar serving signature cocktails, spirits, wine, and beer. An unrivaled selection of both raw and cooked oysters. Plus, the Pearl is serving up amazing old-school favorites like burgers and certified Angus steaks, dry-aged and rubbed in their special Pearl dust. Both the burgers and steaks are Rogers Hampton approved, which is the most prestigious award that a food can receive. The Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue, right off East 70th. Whether you want an amazing lunch on the weekend or an elegant dinner any day of the week, the Pearl has you covered. Let them treat you right at the Pearl.
Get down to business. Tell everyone nothing's off limits. You can have anything you want.
Anything you want with Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, now offering heating and air conditioning too.
Anything you want.
The Green Team for the best plumbing, heating, air, get it all.
You can have anything you want.
One team, 3 generations of local service. Bobby L. Greene, your home team, 6310235. We have it all.
Hollis Dental Care is the premier one-stop shop for all your dental care needs in the Arklatex. Dr. Matt Hollis and his team can handle everything from simple cleanings to major dental implants, all in-house. And if you've got a toothache, call 318-703-6680 by 9 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and you're guaranteed to be seen the same day. That's Hollis Dental Care. Call them at 318-703-6680 or find them at Benton Road and Wimple. Hollis Dental Care, the best spot for your smile.
I'm Greg Tilley, president of Greg Tilley's Bossier Mobile Homes in Bossier City, Louisiana. I chose Town Square Media for my advertising many, many years ago. Jackie over there has been a big help. Hillary, the whole team over at Town Square has been unbelievable in bringing customers to my business. All of the new modern techniques that they're using with streaming and with all the different things, not just radio anymore. Shoot, it's TV and it's all kind of different things. I highly recommend you to give them a try. They can increase your business, you can increase your traffic flow and your presence in the market.
Everyone's broken a phone, but not just anybody can fix one. Don't trust your phone to a fly-by-night shop. And don't try to fix it yourself. Let the experts at Batteries Plus keep you connected by replacing your screen, repairing your phone, or replacing the battery for you. Walk in anytime or make an appointment at batteriesplus.com and save $10. Trust the experts at Batteries Plus.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate me. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Let's get to the meat of the matter with producer Rogers Hampton.
Hey, boy!
Here's your master of ceremonies, Patrick Netherton.
Rogers, you're playing all the hits today. I can tell Hambone's having a good day. He's playing all the good stuff. Gotta hate when there's thunder in your heart. Oh, Rogers, I meant to send you Twitter. I saw on Twitter a couple of days ago. I was going to tag you in it. There was a video of Kate Bush and somebody, and I don't remember who the somebody was. It was somebody famous, like a pretty legendary guitarist or something. And they were performing Running Up That Hill in like 1990 something, or I don't remember. Let me see if I can find it real quick, Rogers. I remember seeing it and going, man, I need to, like, Hambone needs to see this, because it was like a 1980 something performance, and it was some legendary guitarist that was performing it with her, and I don't remember who it was. I'll see if I can find it, Hambone. I'll see if I can locate it for you. But it was good. It was a good version. He was playing guitar, and like he was performing it on the guitar, and also doing background vocals as well. So it was really good. Also, Rogers, speaking of, did you by any chance see the video of the lady doing Skinner? Did you see her do that with the bagpipes? By any chance?
Game?
No, it was she was doing Skinner. What's the famous Skinner song? My brain just stopped working. Freebird. She was doing Freebird on bagpipes. And she was at like some music festival or something. I followed her immediately. Wow. Rogers, it was amazing. Like, she was doing the guitar parts, on the bagpipes, and I was floored. Like, I was ready to go into it going, I don't know about this, but it was really good. It was really good. I was shocked at how good it was. I'll have to send it to you. I was impressed, needless to say. All right, it's time to give away our Pearl Upset Special. The Pearl Restaurant in Shreveport, 70th and Fern Avenue. I went there and got the 3 to 5 p.m. appetizer half-price deal. Of course, they've got drink deals as well for happy hour, 3 to 5 every weekday. You just go over there and check them out. And I went over about 4 o'clock. Ordered the cornbread, which was unbelievable. I was not ready for how good that cornbread was. Then we got the boudin dip appetizer, of course. Mom got a burger, which was delicious. I tried some, and then I took down some shrimp and grits, and it was all delightful. Go check them out at the Pearl, 70th and Fern Avenue. They are absolutely spectacular. It's the white and brick building with the black awning. Just great. I mean, so good. Go check them out. The Louisiana Seafood, they got oysters, which are phenomenal. I was sitting next to a table. They got appetizers, then they got oysters, then they got entrees. I mean, they were doing it up right, the ladies that were sitting next to us. But you name it, they've got it, and they probably do it better than anyone else at the Pearl in Shreveport. And also, they are taking care of the Pearl Upset Special. While I was in there on Friday, I did pick up Thursday, I did pick up my coupons, our $50 gift certificates. They're actually gift cards. $50 gift cards to the Pearl. Picked up the first mess of them. And so we're going to give away another one right now. The Pearl Upset Special this week, 73 entries. A lot of people that jumped in to try to win $50, a $50 gift card to the Pearl. We had everything from UNLV pulled off the upset against Kansas. They were +9. We had 1318 that picked Wazoo, Washington State. They won the Apple Cup, +6. Had Big O, who picked Georgia State. They got a nice win over Vanderbilt. I thought that line would be higher. It was +9. You had Go-Win, who picked Georgia State as well at +9. And then, Rogers, I got a text. on the text line yesterday from none other than your friend, the last Friendship Falcon. Now, here's what happened, Rogers. Go-In, who always, they have a whole cabal of people that text in. Go-In's proctologist, Go-In's second daughter, Go-In's first daughter, Go-In's wife, Go-In's, whatever, like paint supplier. They got everybody. Well, Rogers' last Friendship Falcon, Go-In texted her, hey, here's Patrick's text number, and pick Toledo. Well, Rogers, Toledo went to Mississippi State and beat the dog mess out of Mississippi State. The Rockets just beat hell out of Toledo. The Rockets just beat hell out of Mississippi State. But Hambone, last Friendship Falcon, did not send it in. Go-In sent it to her and said, hey, here's the pick. Make the pick. She forgot to send it in, and it would have been the winner. But she forgot. I can't take forgot to send the pick in. I wish I could. Like, she sent me a picture, and it was very clearly there. Like, it was, she got the message, like, Friday at 5 or whatever. So if she had sent it in right then, she would have been the winner. Or at least she would have been tied with Kevin. Kevin, is actually listed as Kevin 2 in on our text thread. Kevin picked Toledo to go into Mississippi State and win that game, and they did. And it was a 10.5-point line. So we had 73 entries. We had 5 people who correctly picked an upset. UNLV, Georgia State, Washington State all got picked. All were not 10.5. And so the winner of this week's Pearl Upset Special, because last Friendship Falcon forgot to send in her pick, it is Kevin with Toledo plus 10.5. So kudos to Kevin. I'm going to get his name and address, and I will send his gift card out. Probably send them all out tomorrow. The first 3 will likely go out tomorrow, just so you know. But there you go. Kevin, the winner of this week's. It's twice in a row we've not had to do any tiebreaker. And this one was thanks to last Friendship Falcon for getting to send her pick in. So, sorry about that. I'd love to take it and say, like, I know that they're above board. Like, I could very clearly see that the pick was sent to her at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But don't send it to me. I can't do anything with it. So there you go. Kevin, winner of this week's Pearl Upset Special. We'll take a break, come back and wrap this bad boy up. It's the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We'll be back.
Against the wind, we were young and strong, we were running against the wind.
Hey LSU Tiger fans! Got junk piling up? Trash Bandits, your local junk removal experts in Shreveport, are here to help. Whether you want to be hands-on or hands-off, we've got you covered. From dumpster rentals to hoarding cleanups, we haul it all. Proudly rooting for the LSU Tigers, we're family-owned and operated, providing reliable and trusted service. Go to www.trashbanditsla.com and reclaim your space. Your local junk removal team cheering on the LSU Tigers all season long. Go Tigers!
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Piney Park's Fall Festival and Spooky Trail is family fun at every turn, and SeizeTheDeal.com has your half-price tickets. Stroll through our family-friendly Spooky Trail, pick out your favorite pumpkin from the pumpkin patch, dine on eats and sweets at the food trucks, and enjoy jumbo jumpers, barrel train rides, Piney Peak slides, shooting cannons, a game area, and more. Get your half-price tickets now at SeizeTheDeal.com and fall into fun at Piney Park Fall Festival and Spooky Trail, where autumn adventures await.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Brought to you by Louisiana Highway Safety Commission.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
And welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hollis Dental Care is the premier one-stop shop for all your dental care needs in the Arklatex. Dr. Matt Hollis and his team can handle everything from simple cleanings to major dental implants, all in-house. And if you've got a toothache, call 318-703-6680 by 9 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and you're guaranteed to be seen the same day. That's Hollis Dental Care. Call them at 318-703-6680 or find them at Benton Road and Wimple. Hollis Dental Care, the best spot for your smile.
Get down to business. Tell everyone nothing's off limits. You can have anything you want.
Anything you want with Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, now offering heating and air conditioning too.
Anything you want.
The Green Team for the best plumbing, heating, air, get it all.
You can have anything you want.
One team, 3 generations of local service. Bobby L. Greene, your home team, 6310235. We have it all.
You've heard a lot of remarkable things about the Pearl Restaurant, located at Fern and 70th. In addition to the incredible food and drinks, the Pearl is now open for dinner 7 days a week, plus lunch or brunch on the weekends. The bar opens at 3, the restaurant opens at 4 Monday through Thursday, and it opens at 11 a.m. all weekend long. Amazing Louisiana-style food with flavor profiles unlike anything you'll find in the state. A 47-foot bar serving signature cocktails, spirits, wine, and beer, an unrivaled selection of both raw and cooked oysters. Plus, the Pearl is serving up amazing old-school favorites like burgers and certified Angus steaks, dry-aged and rubbed in their special pearl dust. Both the burgers and steaks are Rogers Hampton approved, which is the most prestigious award that a food can receive. The Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue, right off East 70th. Whether you want an amazing lunch on the weekend or an elegant dinner any day of the week, the Pearl has you covered. Let them treat you right at the Pearl.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate me. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Tiger weather now.
Stray shower or storm possible for us here tonight, otherwise partly cloudy skies. Temperatures tonight drop down to near 70 degrees. It'll be warm again Monday. Slight chance for a shower or rumble of thunder during the day, otherwise mix of clouds and sun. High temperatures, middle part of the 80s. Sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday. Middle to upper part of the 80s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
The previous program was paid for by Tim Fletcher. KWKH and K277DO Shreveport, 103.3 FM and 1130 The Tiger. Your home for LSU sports, a Town Square Media station.
A good time is in the air. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
In a good mood today. You can tell by the songs that are being played. Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger. Jeff over on YouTube said, headline from a Toronto Star newspaper column. Opinion. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa attacks football head on again. It might be time to stop. And then he adds, phrasing, guys, phrasing. Yeah, I mean, they obviously did that on purpose. But, yeah, we are talking about a dude's livelihood here. Bernard said, why is it that they've told that he should not fall on the back of his head? They tried to teach him how to fall, and he still goes head first. Yeah, talking about sliding. Yeah, he's the problem is when you're trying to get a first down, if you slide feet first, the ball is spotted where you begin your slide, not where you end up. So he's going to dive head first to try to get the yardage, and it's hard to do that in the moment. That's for sure. Draco said when you're 26, you don't think it'll happen to you. He can walk away with $167 million. He has 2 little babies. Yeah, he needs to, probably. Rogers, we've heard from Go In. I just mentioned that last Friendship Falcon did not send the pick in, and therefore Kevin was able to win the Pearl Upset Special this week. Go In said, I cannot believe my sister blew that pick. I should have taken Toledo and given her Georgia State. Well, I mean, both of them were winners, but only one would have put you in a tie for first. So, yeah, tough times for the Go-In family of texters. Wife, second daughter, dad, mom, proctologist, paint supplier, the whole Go-In clan. Tough times for them. But congratulations to Kevin for winning it. Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, 631-0235, 631-0235. Simply the best in the business when it comes to plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. Give them a holler or find them online at greeneplumbing.com, G-R-E-E-N-E plumbing.com. Schedule some plumbing repair or just some simple maintenance, right? They can come in and they got discounts on putting a camera down your sewer pipe and taking a look. You can get a little money off of that if you want. Check everything out. They got all kind of preventative maintenance that they can do. They can come in and take out all your roots in your pipes. Take those out. I mean, they do all kind of good stuff. Not just emergency or things when things go wrong. They can do a lot of preventative maintenance as well. That is our good friends at Greene Plumbing, Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Go check them out. 631-0235 or give them a holler at greeneplumbing.com. And once again, thanks to Matt Hollis and Hollis Dental Care for jumping back on with us. They're open till 6 tonight and then open every day but Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And again, if you call them by 9 a.m., they'll get you seen the same day for emergency services. So big thanks to all of our sponsors, Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, the Pearl of Shreveport, and Matt Hollis and Hollis Dental Care. Big thanks to all of them for being sponsors of the show. All right, a lot of stuff we got into. We barely scratched the surface of LSU South Carolina. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. We can get back into Saints and Cowboys tomorrow. We also had Caitlin Clark breaking another record over the weekend. We'll talk a little bit about that. And got to tell you what happened with Patrick's picks and Moody's Moneymakers. I can tell you this. We both are guaranteed an over 500 week. He went 5-2 last week. I'm either going 5-2 or 4-3 this week, depending on what happens tonight. I got the Eagles and the points. All right, that's it for us for Rogers Hampton. I'm Patrick Netherton. Y'all be safe and careful out there, everyone. We want to see you back here tomorrow from 1 to 3 on the Patrick Netherton Show.